the percentages.
You know what? I still give it to Thompson, but it's a little less this time. I think I'd say I'd give it to him like 60-40.
60-40. Wow. Okay. And Stoic, what do you think?
Because of Les, how well he's been doing with how he holds up. That man is an iron wall, and he's got an iron wall, 22% written on it. I got to go 50-50, to be honest.
Really? I had it at like 85-15.
Oh, wow. That was a real answer.
I think Les needs to resist to win, and that's a 15% chance.
Oh, okay. There you go. Here we go, guys. Round 1 of the grand finals. Thompson versus Les in SWC 2019. Presented to you by Google Play. Stoic and Make It a Bud. Go for it, guys.
Thompson Les in the final. You can see the pre-bans coming out. There's that Gianna being pre-banned, and the Jehoshaphat getting pre-banned by Thompson.
And we know that pre-ban from left side is going to be alternating Gianna and Nephthys, so no surprise there. The surprise is the pre-ban on the Josephine, because Thompson knows he's going to get first pick, taking that Hathor first, so taking out that Josephine. Great move by him. Let's see if Les decides to split that Ganny Hathor, and does do so. So
yeah,
takes the Fran.
He needs to. There's no way he's going to give Ganny to Thompson. No way.
Absolutely not. And in this situation, Thompson can take the Nephthys, but Nephthys is not very good in a Fran in this situation. So Thompson going with the Verd. Very good pick into a very stationary unit like Fran and Ganymede. And at the same time, I would love to see Lauren is fine too. I was thinking Daphnis, but Lauren is also great because Lauren and Verd really tee off, allows Thompson to tee off in many situations.
I like both those units, the Verd and that Lauren, because he's taking that away from Les. Those are heavy units that Les has been drafting throughout this tournament as well. Verdi Heal becoming a huge unit for Les in that last match against Roslyn.
And I would think Les is going to go Sierra and maybe an Okeanos. I think Okeanos would shut down Thompson's 2 units, but goes with the Julianne. I do not like the Julianne pick because it is a very slow unit. It just sits there, and against a Vertihile and a Lauren, it's going to sit there and not contribute to anything. Okeanos would do a lot against a Vertihile and Lauren because they're both off will. But in this situation, Les is just relying on his LD unit. I'm not sure that's going to work. I think Thompson can really abuse that, take advantage of this, showing off his new toy. I can't wait to see it in action here. And his other toy that we've always seen.
There it is. Those are two
LD
devastating
units.
things here. Devastating against Les right now. The Ada and the Celia.
So I'm actually not too sure about this Arda pick, to be honest, because he's picking it into a Sierra. And a Sierra with an attack buff, or just a Sierra in general, does a lot of damage. And again, that Lucia, great pick by Les, tells me that he is leaving that Artemis and that Vertihile in play, maybe banning that Hathor or even that Lauren, because he doesn't want to deal with getting his whole team locked down like that. But yeah, I think so far, great last pick by Les. I actually really like that.
Yeah, Les has a lot of things he's got to think about banning here, but maybe banning out that Hathor, probably even that Celia as well. Those are two things that might put a huge wrench into Les' plan here.
And if I'm Thompson, I'm taking out Sierra. Well, he takes out that Fran, and of course, as we thought, Hathor being taken out, so it makes a lot of sense. Thompson, Celia does need to land a lot, but Celia does have a chance to miss. So let's see how his new toy performs here.
All right, now it's our chance. We get to see Ada being outside of that Celia as well. Come on, Thompson. He's got a big match ahead of him here. It looks like Let's Gandy's going first here. Gets that reset onto the Lauren.
And dumps attack bars, and Lucia here is quite scary because Thompson does not have will.
There's that sleep onto CR. Big sleep. Well done, Celia, putting on the correct unit. Also getting that sleep onto the Water Fairy. No sleep onto that Ganymede. And we get an additional turn coming from CR, getting that bomb on. Lauren does not choose to set it off.
And that's a huge bio proc getting that bomb on because Thompson's Lauren is primed to be killed here. So if that Ventilate goes on to CR and another bomb gets dropped, that is the end of Lauren. Let's see if Les goes and lands it.
He needs big resistance here and does not. Lauren's carrying 2 bombs right now.
And Artemel's heal is down, so Lauren is going to go down here. So great moves by Les and Thompson on the back foot.
Definitely on the back foot here. And the counter, getting that freeze on Celia as well. Damage gets pummeled in by that Light Vampire.
But that's a very tanky Celia. You saw that HP barely moved, so very well-runed unit. But at the same time, Lauren's going to be gone, and I think Les needs to focus that Vertihile next.
Yeah, Thompson really trying to take care of that CR right now. CR is a hard unit to be dealing with. Does he choose to boost it up? He does, and gets a 3rd bomb. He can throw that right onto Vertical. Not looking good at all for Thompson.
And this Lucia doing so much work here. Les, really good draft by him. That Lucia allowing Les to control Thompson's entire team here.
Yeah, big stuns there right on top of Celia. Not looking good at all for Thompson. I think Thompson's already thinking about that next match.
I think so as well. There's no way this Artemel and Celia are going to get through this Lucia. So I really like Les' draft, especially that last pick on the Lucia. You saw how much control it gave him. I think Thompson needs to dig into the tank to take it.
Yeah, there's that freeze on Vert, and he gets stunned up as well.
Yeah, this match is pretty
coming
much
out
over.
Again. Does get resisted on Ada. Big despair stun, though. He's got to heal this unit up.
Yeah, and again, Celia not really contributing much this game because there's no real buffs or will runes on Less team here. So once Celia goes, it doesn't do anything for the rest of the game. So not sure about the Celia, to be honest. Utoy not doing very much.
No, not at all. Not at all here. Celia looking to, oh, not Celia, Ganymede looking to reventilate onto the Water Fairy. Just a safe play, getting this sustain back up.
Yeah, if I'm Less, I'm just thinking what's the safest way to play to not lose this RNG, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's just healing up, probably going to boost that Sierra, going to do more damage. That Celia's probably going to be gone soon.
Yep, additional turn as well, getting a 2-turn sleep on Ada.
And again, the Celia, while it's very tanky, also doesn't do very much at the moment, and it's going to go down.
Coming out, finishes off the Celia. That's it. Thompson going to be taking his time here. Bomb coming out on Ada. Bomb's holding the bomb. Ada's holding the bomb right now. Does not die, does not get set up. There it is. Dot kills. Last takes round 1 away from Thompson.
Last with 1 point on the board. Again, a best of 5. He needs to establish 2 more wins before he's crowned the champion. I tell you, Stoic, Arda into Ciara is kind of a tough draft. What does Thompson need to change in order to get a point on the board?
Maybe some more cleansing, maybe a little bit of immunity to help him stay away from those kind of situations, possibly.
And I would say just because you have a new toy doesn't mean you have to use it all the time.
Yeah.
That Celia did not do very much. It slept 1 unit, but after that it wasn't able to cycle turns, it wasn't able to do very much, and at the same time, Less with that. With Thompson, without having immunity, Less is able to use that Lucia and basically abuse the fact that Thompson didn't bring anything to prevent that.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I mean, early on, he almost tricked me. I thought that Celia sleeping sleeping the CR early was going to lead into something, but unfortunately, Les got those 2 bombs on Lauren so early and was able to make Thompson play at a deficit.
And a lot of it is, I think it was the Bioproc out of stun to be able to land another bomb, and then Ganny ventilating, that's another bomb. And Thompson not having the immunity or ability to cleanse means he has to eat damage and heal afterwards. And that's a very big issue when you're facing a Sierra with the control of a Lucia that can then CC your team however which way you want.
That first 3-star that you get in the game is serving him real well,
I mean,
man.
right now this meta is very friendly to, free-to-play players, as we like to call it. And so this is hope for everyone at home that you can make these types of teams and make them work, because Bird, Lauren, they're all great units right now.
It's a strong argument to second awaken your Lucia at home. And Thompson is going to need to make some changes. You see how he doesn't leave a game even when it looks like it's over, because he wants to take as much time as humanly possible to think about his next draft.
Correct. And if I know Thompson, I don't think we're going to be seeing that Celia again. I think he understands he needs a little more play time before he starts drafting that unit.
Yeah, and
it's
I think Thompson definitely taking his time to think about what he could have done better in the draft. I think he's going to be thinking about that. It wasn't really much RNG in that game. It was really more the draft, and I think he's going to reflect on that, and hopefully we'll see an adjustment.
Yep, well, here we go, guys. We got round 2. Thompson and Les. Pre-bans from before. The new pre-bans coming in. You can see that Viva Chill getting pre-banned by Thompson, and the Nephthys getting pre-banned by Les.
And so, of course, we anticipated that Gianna Nephthys on and off pre-ban, so no surprise there. Les is going to take that Hathor first, and we'll see if Thompson decides to split the Ganny Hathor or if he wants to supplement the Ganny in some way.
I think he's definitely going to split the Ganny Hathor. He's not going to let that through. I don't think so.
Oh, he might here, actually, if he's going with the Josephine first, which I think is a little overcommitment. But Ganny, Josephine is fine, but at the same time opens him up to Verd, Lauren types of comps, because Josephine and Ganny kind of are stationary units, and especially if you bring them into Will, they don't necessarily do a ton, per se. So we'll see, but Les is going with a really weird pick of a Triana here, even though there's no need for a Triana. There's no instant nukes from Thompson's side. Verd, I agree with and I like a lot, but that Triana is kind of something that Thompson can exploit, either maybe through Lauren or some sort of, I guess a Gianna works. When in doubt, just slam the LD monster down.
Yeah, immediately seeing that Triana right away, I feel like Les is just totally taking turn 2 here. He's going to let Thompson take that first turn.
And again, if I'm Thompson, I'm thinking I may want to... The draft is going to revolve around this Verd and not letting it go off or banning it. Because if that Verd goes off too much, all of the units on Les team gets cooldowns recycled over and over. So that Verd is the key to Les comp right now. And Thompson, the issue with Thompson's draft right now is he doesn't present a lot of burst damage.
Nope,
he actually doesn't have a lot. Once Gianna goes and drops that bomb, that's it. And Les has the support of a Triana here. So Thompson going with the RNG, as we've seen a lot of people go, drops that Antares down, so that unit is going to need to proc a lot, or Les may even ban it.
I think the ban just might be that Daphnis, because he's not bringing a ton of damage himself. Got to eliminate some of the damage on Les' side of the field. I think he's probably going to be banning out Daphnis.
And also because that Gianna is on Violent now, it's more likely going to move under that Daphnis, meaning that Daphnis is a real threat and can snipe that Gianna out.
Yep.
And that's why Daphnis needs to be the ban there. Thompson knows he has a Violent Gianna, needs to let it proc because that Daphnis is going to kill that Gianna first.
There it is. So Ganymede gets banned on Thompson's side of the field. Speed leads out for Les. We see an accuracy lead for Thompson here. Here we go, guys. This is going to be round 2 between Les and Thompson. A lot of, oh my God. A lot is on the line here.
And we see Hathor is moving first here, but at the same time, Thompson's got 2 units on Will.
And there it is. So we do get to sleep onto that Fran. Josephine's passive does get procced here.
Thompson needs to lock down Hathor, but he's actually going to go to sleep really soon because this Verd is going to boost Les' team up. So Thompson's actually going to start with a fully slept team.
Oh, but we do see an additional turn coming from Antares already. Hope he doesn't go for that second skill because that Verd's definitely going to revenge on him.
And Thompson took a deep sigh, was praying for the Despair Stuns, but did not get it. So highly unfortunate there. Thompson's going to lay a bomb down and stun down that Sierra, but at the same time, this Verd's going to go off and allow this Hathor to go.
Here we go. Let's see that stun. Does he choose to go for it or not? I think he has to, or else Fran's going to be eating a bomb.
Yeah, he has to go for this and take the risk on the Verd revenge proccing.
Ow, and the resistance on the Sierra not looking good already. The bomb's coming out just like we said.
And that Sierra's able to throw a bomb onto the Fran to prevent it from proccing in this situation. So he lands that bomb so Fran cannot proc.
No additional turns from this Antares. Not what he's hoping for at all.
And no additional turns, and that Josephine did not proc.
There it is. We finally get one. Does he choose to go for Triana?
No, he's got to go for that Hathor, but chooses to go for Triana.
Does get that Despair stun, and another turn coming from him as well. Does he keep pummeling the damage into Triana or not?
I think you go for that Hathor. You got to stun that now, just in case it blankets you with Delayed Promise.
Oh, it does not get that Despair stun. Here comes the Delayed Promise. Just as you said, passive is not up on Josephine. Everyone goes to sleep here.
That Antares just procced again, so a couple more procs and it's up and ready. But Thompson's Gianna's going to be taking a lot of damage right now.
Definitely is. Another bomb's coming out, sitting on top of Antares. I don't know if Antares is going to make it through that bomb. We're going to find out. And there's Triana does get stunned up. Attack break does go on to Gianna. Needs to finish off. Does not finish off. But we get an additional turn coming from Fran.
That's a huge proc on that Fran, but at the same time, Verd's going to move next, followed by Sierra. So Thompson needs to throw up Barry's Blessing, and that's exactly what he does, and that protects him from that Sierra.
There it is. He's going to try and focus down more damage onto this Gianna. Is he going to get the additional turn? Does not get the additional turn. Immunity's up. Bombs not being thrown out here. Chooses to focus down Gianna here. Does get an additional turn. More damage towards Gianna.
And these additional turns are huge because that auto attack is a lot of damage. That Gianna is going to die here because of that Verd cycling turns over and over from left side.
Go for a second skill. Does go for a second skill onto the Fran. Antares currently out.
And I don't know why he threw that bomb onto a Will Ruined Antares. That is a very highly questionable play. Should have thrown it on the Fran. Huge misplay, but I don't think it matters at this point because Thompson is so far behind.
He needs a Vile Proc coming from Fran right now, unless he can shut Fran down.
That was almost like,
there it is.
There we go.
He does get that additional turn. He's got to cleanse that bomb so that bomb doesn't do damage to that Antares.
Can Thompson punish the misplay or that showboating from Les?
Oh, another turn coming in. Singles coming in. Two Despair Stuns on CRA and Bird.
Great proc from that Antares. Thompson punishing Les for throwing that bomb onto a Will Antares.
Coming from CR. Bomb comes out on Antares. He's going to set that off. Will Antares hold. Antares barely holds on. We're going to see a third skill coming up. That is going to shield everybody up here. I do believe the Josephine passive is up, and I am wrong.
And it is not up, and in this situation, interesting that he chose not to kill Fran, but Thompson's still too far, too late, too little, too late, because that Verd has enabled Les to win. So Thompson's going to be down 0-2 in the finals.
Definitely is going to be down OT in the finals. He's going to lose he's going to lose Fran now. Fran goes down. He's going to continue pummeling the damage into Josephine. Thompson needs to take his time, figure out what's going on. He needs to draft better this time, next game around.
Thompson definitely thinking about what he needs to do better, and in this situation, just kind of thinking about it, biding his time. He knows that he's still here on stage. Anything can happen.
Correct. There it is. Les taking round 2.
Les suddenly at game point in the finals. Thompson needs to win 3 games in a row in order to be the #1. Les, however, only needs this next one. Even though he put that bomb on a unit with immunity, Thompson just wasn't able to capitalize on it because CR came back up just too fast.
And it comes to the point of Verd being so powerful. You see how many cooldowns, it allows your team to recycle cooldowns over and over again. It's so powerful. Allowed that Sierra to drop 1,000,000 bombs. And hell, it even dropped one onto the Will Rune on the Antares.
Yeah, exactly. And unpunished for Stoic. What does he need to do in this next draft?
Maybe even take that Verti heal away. I did honestly like the Antares draft by Thompson. Didn't proc enough for him, sadly. But I mean, in the end, I feel like he needed to do something about that vertical. He needed to have some sort of control. Maybe if we saw a water fairy from Thompsin,
and I think
could have
Thompson,
had
it
some
came down
control
early
there.
on that Josephine commit early, and Thompson's lack of burst damage meant that he couldn't take out a unit early, right? And Les, with his Vertihile, able to cycle turns, and just even that Sierra auto attack did a lot of damage, right? So Les had a stronger draft from that standpoint. Thompson kind of put himself in a rough position in starting on early.
He did. We need to see Thompson take that Vertihile away, somehow deny it. Would you go as far as to say that it's valuable for a pre-ban?
I would say I wouldn't pre-ban it per se, but I don't think an Antares is a solution to the Vert, because the Antares, while it does proc a lot, you are relying on that. I think it's 15% and increasing over time.
She's not a consistent monster.
And it's not something you want to do when you have the advantage in runes and the monster box. You want to push the action. You don't want to rely on RNG to save you.
Well, here we go, guys. This is a very important match here. Les could take it all right now, or can Thompson get a point on the board? We're going to find out. You can see the pre-bans coming up here. Gianna's getting pre-banned by Les. You can see the Josephine getting pre-banned by Thompson.
No surprise here, that pre-ban going on that Gianna, and again, pre-ban going on the Josephine from Thompson. So no surprise, because he's got first pick. He's going to take the Hathor first. We're going to say Les split that Ganny Hathor, I believe, and he's going to take actually a Ganny Vanessa. We didn't see him open with Vanessa last time.
And I like that draft coming from Thompson. That is a very strong team. The Fran, the Verd, that is exactly what needed to happen here.
And I think Les is best suited to take a Daphnis here, but instead goes for Bella Dion, which is a little bit of an interesting showboat here, but I think he's actually going to go with it. But I think a Daphnis would really do a lot in this situation, because he needs to threaten that Fran.
Interesting. So Les not bringing much damage at all. That Vanessa's got to put in a lot of work right now.
And I think Alucia is a great unit here, but Alucia counters Verd, but doesn't do too well against Fran. And also at the same time, Les doesn't have a great answer to Hathor. So Alucia answers one unit, but not the other two. And so I think Alucia is not quite enough here. And I think the Bella Dion is kind of a wasted pick, I think. So can Thompson punish this is the question I have in mind. I would love to see a Daphnis and some other, maybe a Nephthys here.
There's the Nephthys, there's the Lorne. Do we see the Antares from Les to wrap up his draft? It might be the go-to for him. We're going to find out.
And I think Les might do it. The Antares has procced a lot when it mattered, and I think in this game it does matter. He has chosen to drop the Bella Dion in, so I'm very curious to see how this goes. Bella Dion likely going to be controlled by some combination of Verd and Lauren throughout the entire game. So, and I think Thompson is best suited to ban out that Alucia as it stands right now.
I feel like nobody wants to see the Antares, but why is it coming up? And there it is, the Antares.
And I wouldn't be surprised to
here.
see Thompson just ban the Antares, but instead doesn't, bans out the Vanessa and just wants to go for turn cycling over time and taking out a unit.
Yep, needs to focus out that Antares as soon as possible.
And actually, if Thompson's Fran is fast enough, he can protect his team and then enable that Hathor to lock down. So I really like Thompson's draft here, and I think he is favored to win this one.
We're gonna find out right here. Can Thompson bring this one home? Come on, guys. We got Lauren taking first turn right now. Who does he choose to attack him?
And I think Thompson needs to think about turn orders, and he drops ability on, so great choice here. And I think he needs to punish Les for not believing in Will runes once again.
But he's got Will onto this Antares. There's no revenge procs coming from Antares. He does get the resist with that Ganymede, though.
The Ganymede doesn't do anything in immunity, so I think this gives Thompson a window of opportunity to land defense break on Ganymede and just take that unit out early.
First proc coming from Antares. We're gonna see probably first skill onto Lauren. Looks like that's gonna be the target he wants to take out first. Looking to apply more damage to the Lauren. Can he get that defense break?
But we also know with that Verd and the Hathor, that's a lot of turns that Thompson's taking. That Hathor is going to be poised to lay down Delay Promise again really soon.
Giving his attention to the Antares, but the Antares is going to get an additional turn here.
Yeah, unfortunately, now he doesn't have defense break on anymore, so this is huge.
That is very, very big for that Antares, getting that proc there.
So Thompson here should be sleeping that Ganny and continue working on the Antares if that is his line of action, and that's exactly what he's doing.
He needs to get this attack break. He needs to land this attack break, because if he gets more turns, he's going to be dealing some serious damage. Does get that 2-turn attack break, pummeling more damage into the Antares. Getting that additional turn is exactly what he needs right now. He needs to get this defense break and keep pushing that attack bar and hope the Antares does not take any more turns.
And actually, this Antares is almost dead here, so if Thompson heals the Lauren, that Verd's going to move next and pummel a ton of damage into Antares.
Here we go. Let's see this damage coming in here on this defense broken Antares. Antares holding up. But we get an additional turn coming from Verdiel. Finishes off that Antares. This is looking very good for Thompson.
And at this point, it is over because that Lauren Verd lockdown means that Thompson is always going to be moving. Les will not take another turn, a meaningful turn in this game. So Thompson has this one in the bag. Let's just sit back, Les should sit back in his chair because he's not playing another round this game.
You could just see how great that combination is. Like we said before, if you can get that trio, Lauren, Fran, Bird, and then the Hathor on top of it, you just don't have any attack bar. It's gone. There's nothing you can do. The additional turns on top is just insane. Les realized that. Thompson takes round 3.
Thompson with a win. He's still in this game. Thompson neatly took out that Antares in the game, and he needs to keep picking that combination, or at least a half of it.
Great draft, great show of fortitude. You're down 0-2 on the finals and able to keep yourself focused. Draft very well with that Verd, that Lauren, and then Hathor and Fran. Great choices there, and just dominating that game. Again, he knew that Les did not believe in Will Runes. I don't know why Les doesn't believe in it, but Thompson punished him for that.
It's the second time, yeah. It's the second time.
And those lack of Will Runes might cost Les $100,000 later on down the line.
Stoic, you said it earlier. Thompson loves that control, and boy, did he have it. There was no attack bar left.
That was a perfect team. That was a perfect team, especially for an opponent like Les. He knew he was going to outspeed him. He knew that. Well, found out that he's got no Will Runes on his team, and he was able to punish him
it's important
with
to
that
note
perfect
too
team.
That Antares is not on Despair. So Despair Antares can proc and then disrupt the team, but when it's just there to pump in damage, you can't slow down the Fran, the Verd, and the Lauren altogether, because that's enough attack bar and heal to be able to sustain your team because nothing's being stunned. So that build of Antares does not work versus Thompson's lineup there. So very good choice of Thompson to read that and pick that team.
That lack of disruption is absolutely huge, and you know Thompson was making mental notes on which of those units were off Will, so that way if he sees them come up in the pick ban phase, he knows exactly how to counter them.
Exactly. Great plays, great thinking by our America's player here.
Oh yeah.
We know he's made it this far.
Do it again.
He knows how to play. Hopefully he can do it again, and we get to a game 5.
Do it again.
And this game 4
and others like it
is brought to you by Google Play.
Cheers, guys. Cheers, audience.
Thank you for watching with us.
Wow, that tastes all the sweeter. Tastes all the sweeter, guys. We're going into round 4 of the finals right now. Thompson is at a point deficit now, and Les is at game point still. Thompson, can he turn this around and get another point on the board to tie it up and bring us into a 5th round? We'll find out right now. Stoic, make it a bud, have some fun.
Woo. I don't know about you guys, but I am sweating extra right now with this game 4. Very scared for this match. Will Les take it? Will Thompson get one more out of him? We're going to find out. You can see the Viva pre-ban. You can see the Nephthys pre-ban by Les.
Obviously, it makes sense. We knew that it was going to be a Gianna Nephthys alternated pre-bans. Also, Les not being on Will Runes means that this fast Gianna.
Les taking the Hathor this time away from Thompson.
Is extra threatening against his lineup.
Yes, exactly.
Anyways, Les goes with the Hathor first pick. Thompson's going to break it with the Ganny and then the Fran, and that puts him at risk of Vertihiles and Daphneses. So we'll see if Les spots that and is able to punish it. I do not think he should be taking Triana like he has been, but he definitely will be taking some form of Verd. He does favor that, and the Vanessa's a great pick, and the Daphnis is also a great pick.
Yep, there's the Vanessa, Daphnis right there. Now he can get a combination with Lauren Fran again. I think he really needs to take that Verd here. I would love to see the Verd.
And I think Thompson's going to lay down a Gianna here, as we've seen a lot of times, and that's exactly what he goes for. So if he lays down that Gianna, he may need to be thinking about banning that Daphnis out, because that Gianna's on Violent. Again, if that Gianna was on Swift, he would be okay and not ban that Daphnis out. But in this situation, it's on Violent, so it might be outsped by that Daphnis.
Thompson taking the Josephine away. Interesting
choice. So that tells me he is definitely not banning out that Hathor. He's okay going to sleep, and he's more than likely already poised to ban out this Daphnis here. So interesting line of play. Thompson is not representing a lot of Verts. So again, if Les can go with a Vertihile to punish the stationary team of Thompson, Thompson could be in a lot of trouble here.
Definitely could be in a lot of trouble. It does take that Verti heal away. Thompson, look at the Antares. I get nervous.
Oh, I get nervous with this Antares. I would love to see a water unit, like a water monkey or an Aegir, because that allows him to snowball, but he does not have that. He's relying on the procs from the Antares, and I think when you have the rune advantage and you have a well-runed Aegir like Thompson does, you really should be bringing in that damage. But chosen again to go with the Antares, so we'll see if it can proc as much as Les Antares did in the previous match.
Yep, we're gonna find out. I like the pre-bans on the Daphnis and the Ganymede as well. This is anyone's match right now. Here we go, guys. This is round 4. Thompson and Les. Let's go.
And again, that Hathor does put that Fran to sleep. this Josephine needs to control that Verd. That Verd and that Triana are going to be able to go off real soon, and that's
No
dangerous.
provoke onto the Triana as well. He's definitely not going to be throwing up immunity. Looking to deal some sort of sleep, possible pushback attack bar of that Antares. Did not happen. Defense break coming on Antares does get resisted. Bombs coming out onto the Hathor.
But if you look at the attack bars, this Hathor is going to go throw down a delayed promise soon. So Thompson needs to get a despair stun from the Antares onto the Hathor.
Oh, we do get an initial turn coming from Fran. Really needed that. Immunity's coming up to save him from this Hathor.
And a Fran proc works just as well, but in this situation, Thompson needs that Antares proc because he needs burst to get through less team. Otherwise, that's a lot of damage from that bird over time.
Throwing out some skill ones, not dealing any damage with Hathor. Definitely going to be cleansing this bomb.
And I think a cleanse is okay here, but chooses not to, so because he's afraid of that Gianna stun. So Thompson's able to do some damage to that Antares, but honestly not enough yet.
Trying to deal some damage to that Fran. No additional turns coming from Antares right now.
And again, Les has the sustain from the Triana here, and Thompson doesn't have burst damage, so Thompson needs to find a way to pummel in some damage.
Les looking for a second skill onto the Fran, receives it. Fran goes to sleep. But a stun onto the Vertial, which was huge. Can he receive another stun, or does he choose to pummel more damage?
I think he's going to go more damage onto the Vanessa here and try to multi-hit. It does not. Instead, tries to go for the Triana, but unfortunately does not get it. So Triana is deciding he doesn't want to cleanse a bomb, or doesn't want to wake up the Bird, or do none of the above.
Vanessa procs. Vanessa's going to eat that bomb. Does not. Does he choose to target Vanessa for more damage? No. Looking for that Despair stun onto Hathor. Second bomb's coming out.
And you can see that this Gianna is really paralyzing Les, so that Les cannot use that cleanse from Triana. Really putting him at a stalemate. So Gianna's
Gets
doing
that
a lot.
additional turn as well. He's going to have a bomb up next turn. He gets a bomb up right now.
We'll see what bomb target he goes on, but again, there's passives up from left side, but very huge proc from Gianna.
He's trying to get a bomb on everybody, boosting up so much attack bar. I think he's got to cleanse here.
Les has to cleanse here so that he resists the stun. At the same time, the Bird's going to push attack bars up, so that cleanse makes sense.
We get an additional turn coming from Antares. Antares looking to pummel more damage into Vanessa, and does so. Birdie here looking to boost some attack bars. Bio procs maybe in a little bit of trouble here. Does not get that additional turn. We get a third skill coming out, and that's going to pop the passive Josephine.
An interesting choice there to do some damage.
Big resistance onto the Fran, though.
Huge resistance there, because that means that Thompson's going to be able to get some heals as long as that Fran keeps proccing.
There's that provoke, gets the additional turn, lays down more damage onto the Vanessa, and gets a stun as well. Triana receives a ton of damage from that bomb. And Vertial receives some damage as well.
And even with two bombs, that Triana's still alive, but again, Thompson just did a ton of damage with those bombs, and that Triana passive is down. So this Vanessa is poised to go down really soon.
We can see that cleanse. We do see that cleanse in that additional turn as well. He's going to pummel that damage into Vanessa. Does not take the Vanessa down. Does have that the attack break as well. Gets that attack break onto Fran. He has that second skill up. Chose to go for more damage.
And that's a huge power proc, but very odd play to do more damage rather than sweep the Gianna, because the Gianna now autos and kills that Vanessa. So big misplay from Les. And Les
does he heal? I think he needs to heal right now and gamble that he resists the stuns.
I don't know, but in this situation, Les is just going for the kill here.
Does finish off the Fran.
And Les here is really in a lot of trouble here. I think we're going to go to a fifth match.
Oh boy, it's getting real exciting in here. Could be some serious RNG for Les, but we get an additional turn come from Josephine, able to drop the Triana!
That is a huge proc from the Josephine.
Ginormous proc from the Josephine. Looking for an attack break, but we get an additional turn coming from the Antares. Antares looking to pummel some damage, get into the Despair stuns in here. No Despair stuns, finishes up that Vertial. Bomb is coming out.
We're going to a round 4!
We're going to have a final match.
Thompsin!
We're going to have a final match here at the World Finals. This is exciting.
This is it! Both players at
man.
game point. It's anyone's game right now. Thompson going 2 rounds in a row.
Talk
Am I
about
sweating?
fortitude.
Are you sweating?
I'm sweating.
What a game. We're going to see a fifth
The
match.
crowd is chanting Thompson.
Thompson can hear the crowd. He knows he's got the support. What a game. That was incredible. Back and forth there. Fighting against all adversity there, down 0-2, and we're back to an ace match here.
Yeah, and Thompson was ready and waiting that whole time with Gianna's skill 3, ready to punish a Triana cleanse at any moment, and Les didn't want to take it, even when it may have been the right call to just gamble on it, to be honest.
And imagine when these players first started playing Summoners War, I don't think any of them would imagine they would be playing one match for $100,000 at some point in their gaming career.
Match.
One match for $100,000.
Can you believe that? This is all leading up to this. They've done quite the journey. It's not just one match. it's been tournaments upon tournaments. All of this leading up to this one moment. It's incredible. What a great way to end this tournament.
No pressure, by the way. No pressure at all.
No pressure. No pressure. No pressure. Man, Les did some target swapping in there that I wanted to talk about too. He started with Gianna, went to Antares, ended up targeting
and
Fran.
I commented on that halfway through.
Yeah, I saw that.
Targeting the Antares is always risky because the Antares is always usually on revenge. And there's no need to switch off from the Gianna. You want to take out the Gianna because that's a primary damage dealer and stunner when the bomb goes off. So there's no reason to split damage there. And I think he should have continually gone after the Gianna. There's no need to switch. Either way, though, I mean, I think it would not have mattered. But what a game.
What a game. Stoic, you're guilty. It might win this right now.
I'm beside myself right now. This is just such an incredible matchup. Like, this last game is honestly anyone's game right now. It truly is anyone's game.
Anybody's game right now. We're about to go into a round 5 of the SWC 2019 World Finals presented to you by Google Play.
And here we go, guys. This is it. This is the last match. This is round 5 in the final. Winner takes all. These are the pre-bans you see before. You got that Nephthys, you got that Viva pre-ban before, and now that same pre-ban that we've been seeing before. That Gianna's pre-ban, that Josephine's pre-ban, and here we go. Thompsin has first pick.
And in his final match, Thompson will not be able to use his favorite monster, that Gianna. Let's see if he can use that Vertihile and that Lauren, as we saw, to ride those two to victory. And that's how we won the third game there. Let's see if he can employ the same strat and run these same 2 units. I also wouldn't mind seeing a Daphnis early or a Vanessa, but
there's the Verd. I love the Verd. Love the Verd coming from Thompsin.
Are we going to see Lauren? There's Nephthys.
Definitely love the Verd. Not a fan of the Nephthys, but again, in this situation, we know Les does not believe in Will runes. That Daphnis, I don't believe, was on Will, and so that Daphnis is a weak pick into the Nephthys. But Les going with this LD Nat 5 of Vivichel and then taking a Lucia here.
Definitely strong picks by Lester. He's showing a lot of sustain on his field. He's showing an LD Nat 5. Thompsin bringing in that Lauren, and I love to see that Lauren right now.
And I think the Lauren's a great pick because it's going to allow him to lock down that Lucia a bit and at the same time control the rest of the field as needed. I'm not sure how well that Lauren synergizes with Nephthys.
There's that Aegir, really going to capitalize on some of the defense breaks that he can get from the Lauren or the Nephthys, and he brought that Aegir in anticipation for that Antares.
And I think Thompson's drafted this very well. He has enough damage, enough control, enough like disruption and defense break and speed that he's going to be able to win. And Thompson can honestly ban out the 5th unit and play these 4, and I think he's got the upper hand here. So great draft overall. I think Les can drop whatever he wants, and he's going to be in trouble.
Yep, Les bringing in that Ciara as well. Now he's not showing, he doesn't really need any of the strips for immunity. He has no immunity to worry about right now.
And I could see Thompson banning either the Fran or the Ciara, but I think it's a little bit safer to ban out the Ciara. Either ban is fine here. The Lucia may be a target of choice given how it's performed in the past, but I really think Thompson could just ban out the Ciara and that he'd be fine here because his draft allows him to run circles around Les' team here.
All right. Bans are out. He bans out that Water Fairy. He's scared of that Nat 3. And we can see the LD Nat 5 getting banned on Thompson's side.
And I think this is a little bit safer route. Thompson's going to tunnel down the Ciara, take it out early. And with that Lauren and that Verd, that's going to be a ton of damage and turn cycling.
Here we go, guys. I can honestly barely sit in my seat right now. This is getting real tough. Ganymede taking first turn.
Thompson not having Will runes. They're all on Nemesis and Revenge here. Les Ganny is incredibly faster, gives him a huge advantage.
Definitely does. He gets his immunity up, gets his attack buffs up as well. Hathor needs to get a good sleep. Goes for that sleep, nails it onto the Viva. Bomb's coming out onto Verd. Verd's not going to resist that. Does he choose to set it off? No,
that is an attack buff bomb though, so that Verd is going to go down really soon.
Gets the additional turn as well. He's got a second bomb he can throw out. Coming up with the CR. CR was able to get another turn. Throws that bomb on. He's going to set it up. That's an attack buff bomb. That is going to be it for Antares. We've got, look, Verniel's almost dead. He's
wow,
able to boost
what an
up.
opener. That's an attack buff bomb,
man.
and that's a lot of procs, and that pretty much seals the finals there. Thompson needs his Lauren to proc. He needs to strip that Vivichel right now, and he needs to proc several times.
Does not get that full strip onto Fran. Not looking good at all for Thompson.
And that game just ended so quickly there. That's so much damage coming out from that Ciara.
Able to sleep that Fran. Trying to deal some damage to that Viva. Viva does finish off the Verd. And that is going to be it for Thompson. That is not looking good at all. He does not have any form of damage. He's able to dump the HP onto that Hathor.
What a draft by Les.
Got a turret coming up right now. and boom, you can see it coming right now. Ganymede does not finish off that head-to-head. CR finishes it off right there. That is going to be it. Thompson taking off his headset, and he concedes. Left is the champion!
What a game! What a way to end the finals.